Hi guys, so as I said in the last video, or today's video technically, I said I'll be making 2 more videos to make up for the previous 2 weeks that I'd missed. So for this video I thought I'd share with you a story, or share a memory of mine from school in a story format to let you guys know, because the story behind it is just so funny. I mean, at the time I guess it was kind of quite scary, but when I think about it now it just makes me laugh because it's memories, and I thought I would share it with you guys. So I'm going to share with you guys a story about how I thought my teacher was dead. Now, that sounds horrendous, I know, but it's a good story. So basically I had this teacher that, for reasons I'm not going to name, I'm just going to call her Miss F. So Miss F was always tripping over her own laptop cables, because basically the way her teaching setup was, she had like her desk over in the corner of the classroom, and then like 5 inches, like not even, like 2 foot in front of her desk, she had like a tall chest of, like a tall chest of plastic drawers, for filing and stuff, that she kept her laptop in, plugged into the interactive whiteboard thing. But I don't know why she had it on there, not on her desk, because the wires could have easily reached from the desk to the wall. She didn't need that other thing. But anyway, that's what she had, and it actually made it more dangerous because of how far out from the wall that she had this chest of drawers thing. The wires were always everywhere and dragged along the floor, and I swear to God, every single lesson she would trip up these wires at least once. She's always walking around every time she tripped up, and she would always like just like stumble. She wouldn't like fall flat on her face or anything like that. But this one day she did, and my desk was like here, right at the front of the classroom, and this thing where she was like here. Her chest of drawers was like here, so where she used to stand was right in front of me. And one day she was teaching us some English stuff, whatever it was, and Miss F was walking around, like I say, as usual, and when she walked back again, she went flat over the wires. And bearing in mind, this day the wires were particularly dangerous because she had it even further out, so the wires were like really stretched out, and they were like this at ground level, almost, or just above ground level obviously, but like straight out, like not even flat on the floor, like straight out like this above the floor. And she walked over it, and then she just went smack, and I'm not kidding, she really fell, and she just went smack straight to the floor, and she hit herself pretty hard on the floor because she knocked herself unconscious. But before anyone realised this, the whole class just like erupted with laughter. And admittedly, even I did, because we always kind of giggled when she used to trip over, because, come on, let's face it, it is funny when someone trips. If someone just trips like that, people do tend to find it funny. And the whole class started laughing, but that laughter kind of soon died down after a few seconds when they realised that she hadn't actually got up again. And I kind of like looked over the desk in front of me, and I could just hear her like lying there, like in front of my desk, and I was just like, okay, what the fuck? And everyone's faces just kind of went from like laughing to just like, oh my God. Everyone's face was like, what the hell do we do? So by this point we're literally like, what the hell? And we kind of tried to wake up, because we were like, I went down with the person next to me that was sat next to me. We both like went down to the floor to like check on her, and we tried to wake her up, and she didn't. So now we're like, oh my God, what the hell? So I had to like run to reception, which was literally, luckily, the position of the classroom was like right outside. Like the reception, you came out and like turned left, and you were like in the reception area. So I had to go and get someone from there. And they came in, tried to wake her up and everything, and luckily they managed to get her to come round. And yeah, I mean, it was a good like 5 minutes of them trying to wake her up. They were gonna call an ambulance, and then she kind of came round, but my god, like literally, this whole classroom, or the whole classroom, just like standing there, was sitting there staring at her, like at the receptionist and everyone, trying to wake our teacher up. And we were like, oh my god, what the hell, she's like dead or something. We literally thought she was dead because she just didn't move. And then they managed to get her to come round, as I say, and they cancelled the ambulance. I think they did actually call the ambulance, if I remember rightly now, but they rang and said that she'd come round. I think they did pop into the school anyway, and they did like a test on her, but she was fine. In fact, I'm pretty sure they turned up anyway, even though she was up and about again, but they did a few tests and turned out she was okay. She just, I don't know, they did tests, but she was fine. I mean, I don't know why, maybe they didn't take her to hospital to do more tests, but they didn't, and she was fine. So that is the story, I guess, teaching about how we all thought she was dead. Like, at that point, it was really scary, but when I think about it now, it was so funny, because it was just like hilarious just to watch her stumble over the cables. It was funny. The aftermath of it was not funny, but just it sounds terrible me saying that, I know, because things like that can be seriously dangerous, and I'm not gonna say, and I of all people know that because one of my grandparents like passed away from hitting the head. But I mean, you know, it was funny to watch her stumble. But she's fine, and she was fine, and she was fine for years afterwards. She actually, I believe, I'm not sure if she is, but I believe she's still working at the school now. She's still there. So that is one story of my English teacher in high school, the story of Miss F. But there's also another story I want to share with you about yet another English teacher from my sixth form, this time who will be known as Miss B. Yeah, this story is just ridiculous. Like, you wouldn't believe this. And basically, we had some A-level coursework that we had all handed in like a few weeks before, and we were supposed to be getting them back in this particular lesson. So we actually had like a double English period that day. So we had English, then we had our break, and then we had English again. But in the first English lesson, she told us all that she still had like 2 more to mark. So she said she will give them all back to us in the next period. So there were actually a couple of my friends that were in my English class, and for that day, for whatever reason, I walked out earlier than them. I think I had to go and do something before I joined them at my break. There was something I had to do, I'm pretty sure. But as my friends walked out, our teacher, Miss B, told them not to tell me, but she told them that her cat had thrown up on my coursework. Yeah, that's right. Her cat had thrown up on my coursework. So she hasn't marked it. And of course, my friend came out and told me this at the break, and I was just like, okay, what the hell? Like, literally, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, what the fuck? Why didn't she tell me this? And I was like, is she going to tell me this in the next lesson? Because she's literally told you not to tell me. So I'm like, oh my god, what the actual hell? Like, how the hell can you let your cat throw up on coursework? Like, why have you got your cat anyway near pile of A-level coursework? Like, what the fuck? So we went into that lesson, and of course everybody got their coursework back except me. And I was like, okay, let's just wait and see what happens. I'm just going to wait and see if she says anything to me. And she literally said nothing. So I asked her, I was like, oh, Miss, I didn't get my coursework back. And then she just said to me that she was like, oh yeah, I'm really, really sorry, but I haven't been able to mark yours yet, and I've left it behind at home. And I was just like, right, okay. So in my head I'm thinking, well, actually you're a liar because your cat threw up on it. So why are you not telling me? Like, it made it worse that you didn't tell me. Like, I would rather she admitted it to me and told me. I would have still been pissed, because it's just like, what the hell, how can you let your cat do that, like I already said. But at least she told me the truth. I would have been like, okay, fine. But she didn't. And then, like, right towards, like, as we started the work that we were supposed to do for that lesson, then she come up to me. Bearing in mind, we're now, like, at least half an hour into our lesson whilst we're doing our work now. And she came up to me and she was like, oh, look, Harrison, yeah, I'm really, really sorry. I'm going to need you to print out another copy and give it to me because my cat was sick on it. I was just like, what the hell? But now I look back on it, it's pretty funny. I mean, her cat was literally sick on my coursework. Like, oh, it's just like, what the hell? It still doesn't make sense to me, but hey, it's funny, I guess. Yeah, but actually, saying that, talking about coursework, what actually made it worse is the fact that when she marked it, she told me that it was definitely an A piece, like an A grade piece, and I was so happy with that because I hadn't been doing all that great with my last piece of coursework. I mean, English in general was going fine, but the coursework was not that great. And then she was like, okay, you just need to change a couple of things, blah, 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 of course, like a teacher does. So I was like, okay, cool, that's cool, like, I'll change those things. And then when I gave her the second draft, she marked it and gave it back, and she told me, it's definitely a B. And I was like, what? Like, I didn't say anything, but in my head I'm thinking, what? You told me it was, like, definitely an A grade piece, now it's at least a B. After I've made, well, now it's a B grade, not at least. She said now it's a B grade after I'd made all the changes she told me to make. But anyway, she then told me to make a few more changes, so I was like, okay, fine. And I went back and made those changes. And that was the final piece, actually, the final draft. And she marked it and she said, well, it's definitely going to be at least a C.
Which way?
Because you told me it's an A, now it's a B, then it's a B, now it's a C. Like, what the hell? Like, the thing is, obviously, she had to send it off to an independent, like, extra marker, whatever they call it, like another marker, basically. So that's why she's sending me it's at least a C. So anyway, on results day, I opened up like my results, and I mean, I'm not complaining about my results because I still got to university either way. But I opened it up, and next to the mark for coursework, it says D. Like, really? How the fuck can you say a piece of coursework is definitely an A, and then follow up with a whole load of other fucking grades, say it's a B and a C, and then it ends up being a D, like, after all the changes told me to make? It just doesn't make logical sense. Like, how can a teacher honestly think, like, without the fact of the B and C, like, it was obviously clearly always at D grade standard, clearly. So how the hell can a teacher think a D grade piece of coursework is a fucking A grade piece of coursework? Like, I mean, I sound like I'm complaining, but I laugh about it with my friend all the time now. We just always talk about it, it's funny. But let me know down in the comments below if you've had any moments like this in school or in sixth form, college, whatever. Yeah, I would love to know your stories, to know if you have any weirdo English teachers or any other language, any other subject teachers for that matter. If you like this video and thought that these stories are funny, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you're new around here, and I will see you next week. Or, well, technically there will be another video followed up by this, but apart from that, I will see you next week. Bye!